Welcome to Alicia Budget Beauty. My name is really. Hello, my gorgeous ones. Welcome to Alicia Budget Beauty. My name is Alicia. Here on my channel, I love affordable fashion and beauty. I do hauls, tutorials, reviews, all sorts of fun stuff. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe, stick around, be a friend. All right, you guys, we have a brand new release from Simply Posh Cosmetics. This is one of my favorite indie brands. It's also a Texas brand, and I'm a Texas girl. And we have not only an eyeshadow palette, but we also have a face palette with this collection. I am very excited to dig in and create some looks for you guys and give you guys my honest thoughts. So if you want to hear all about it, keep on watching. Okay, you guys, so this Cozy Cabin release is a follow-up to the original Cozy Cabin. Here is what that palette looks like. So pretty. Really love the colors in here. I had a good time with this palette last year, and I actually just used this the other day. Here is what that looks like. And I've always enjoyed the Simply Posh formula, but I am happy to say they have really listened to feedback. I personally have never had any issues with their mattes since they have started doing palettes like these anyway, or their shimmers, but other people had voiced some concerns about the shimmers being a little bit hard pressed, and they have actually gone and improved their formula. They also said that they've improved their mattes. So this will be a first for me to try out this new formula. But here is what this palette looks like. This is a little bit truer representation. That was a bit misleading here. The light is making it look a little bit brighter than it is. It's definitely slightly muted and more moody than what this looks like in the camera. But let me just hold up the original Cozy Cabin real quick so that you can see the difference. Let me actually hold it where you can see these colors side by side. So these are different. They look pretty similar here on camera, but in person, they actually just go together very nicely. I mean, you could definitely pull these out and make kind of like a mega palette out of them, but this one is a little bit more muted, a little bit, like I said, more moody to it than the other. So it also has some kind of pastels in here, which is really nice. And then we also have a first cheek palette from them where we have 4 blushes and 4 highlighters. Now I did go ahead and put on 2 today. So I have a mixture of Cozy Up and Warm Wishes, which gives this nice warm blush here that is, I mean, it's pretty corally looking. I will say, I kind of wish there was like a toasty shade in here, or like an orange maybe, but as it is, we have kind of a cool tone pink, and then we have 2 kind of corals, and then we have a berry. Still really pretty. And then we have a golden shimmer, more of like a bronzy looking shimmer, a pink toned, and then more of a white, which is on my nose and my forehead right now. And then I also have Sweater Weather just kind of layered on here to warm up this cheek a little bit more. Something I always forget to mention this. I did get these in PR. I do have a code with Simply Posh. You get 10% off. This launches on Monday. I always forget to say that. But anyway, you always get my honest feedback though. So what we have in this color story is obviously these monochromatic rose that they've kind of become notorious for doing, which I really love. And they are very shifty. Like you can tell this is actually much more orange, and then it turns into like this golden here. So you can see the shift of these gorgeous shimmers. This one is like a purpley. Actually, let's just do some finger swatches here real quick. Look at that. Oh, you can see those shifts. So pretty. We have gingerbread. Of course, the names are very holiday sounding. Ooh, look at that. And then candy cane and festive. Oh, so pretty. Those are gorgeous. So let me just hold these up real quick. These are going to be so fun to layer on here. And what I always say about these monochromatic rose is it makes it so easy for those that if this was all jumbled up, they would see this and not really know necessarily what to do. But you could always just do monochromatic looks if like mixing around colors is too scary for you, but you want to dabble in some. I mean, just do Here are 6 looks right here that you could do going vertical. Today, I think what I'm gonna do, this was a hard decision. I was looking at this palette and like, there's so many combos. I think so many of these would look so pretty together, but I wanna do the unexpected combo that maybe not everyone else is going to do in their videos. And I'm gonna combine some cool and warm tones. So I'm gonna do on this eye, a look with this row mixed with this row. And then I'm gonna do this row mixed with this row. And then tomorrow I'm just gonna do one look, period, and mix in these 2 rows. So hopefully that's something not everyone else has done, and maybe that'll give you a little bit of inspo. All right, so first I'm gonna go in with Stocking, and it's this, what do you call this? Like cornflower? Is that what you would call this color? Or am I just making that up? It's a nice kind of, it's kind of almost, or maybe you would call this like a marigold, but it's a little bit more muted than that. Like I said, this top row, are kind of these muted, almost pastel looking 2 midtones. I really, really like that shade. It obviously goes really well with this sweater that I'm wearing, which, by the way, it's not that cold here today in Texas where I am. It's actually supposed to hit about like 75, which I love. I know that people are going to hate me for this, and they're probably going to unsubscribe or decide not to subscribe to my channel. I am not a cozy cabin girl. I am not a winter girl, a cold weather girl. I would be fine if I never wore a sweater a day in my life. I know people love their cozy sweaters. I wear them like crazy in the winter because I get really cold, but I prefer the beach. I prefer warm weather, but I do like fall fashion, I will say. But yeah, I try to get into the vibes, but I prefer year-round summer personally. Okay, I really like that shade. Next, I am going to go in with a smaller brush and dip into Tradition. And Tradition is this deeper orange, a kind of a pumpkin orange. Ooh, that does have some really nice pigment to it. I like that. I'm just gonna lay that down here in the crease. Honestly, the shade reminds me a lot of this one shade in my Wet n Wild Sesame Street palette. I got that collection in PR and it was super cute. I mean, some of it was really, really kid-like, obviously, Sesame Street. But the palette, the Elmo shade, was this gorgeous bright orange that I didn't have one like it in my collection. And I love the palette for that one orange. And it looks like I now have another one in this one. Okay, now this is where we're getting a little bit funky here. I'm going to take Sleigh Bells, which looks like it's kind of like a periwinkle or a lavender shade. And I'm just going to lay that right here and blend it into the yellow and orange. Actually, this does lean, I think this does lean more purple, like a lilac, lavender. And it's deeper. It's not like a real, it's like a gray leaning purple. I think that looks kind of cool next to these. Like, I know that's kind of unexpected, not shades you would necessarily put together, but that's kind of my goal with this video is let's play with some shade combos that not everyone is going to think about with this palette. All right, next I'm going to pack Wintry on the outer corner. So this is that deeper grayish purple. That is a cool shade. I don't know that I have this shade. I mean, I do now. I don't know that I had this before. I really like that. I don't want to cover up all the orange because I just think it looks really neat on there. So I'm just going to do this outer portion. And down here, I'm going to cover some of that up with shimmer. Let's go ahead and bring it out kind of in a faux wing. Okay, I think that looks kind of cool with that little wing. I'm going to take Angel, the shimmer in that vertical row, and start laying that down. Super pretty. We have purple with like blue, maybe pink. Yeah, and I definitely feel a bit of a different formula from, say, the Citrus Punch palette that people were saying was a little bit hard pressed. That one was more like these ethereal, sparkly shimmers. And this is very sparkly, but it's a little bit more opaque than, say, just those kind of sheer topper sparkles of Citrus Punch. That's really pretty. Okay, I definitely want to take Festive now. I think I am going to, I'm going to use this little brush and see if this works. Take Festive and start laying it down. Pretty. We definitely get a lot of green there. So you have this green gold. Ooh, so fun. Okay, I think this look is really cool. This is very different for me. I mean, I've done a lot of color combos, but I don't think I've ever done one quite like this. Cool. You have these like cool tones, and then it looks like almost like a, you know, like a bleeding sun on top. Okay, then for lower lash line, what do we want to do? I think I'm going to bring in more of the warmth. So I'm going to do Tradition down here and echo that. I like it. I mean, maybe I look like a clown. I don't know, but I think it's fun. And I definitely think once I get lashes and lip, that this is going to look really, really cool. I actually decided to bring it up here and kind of like outline that wing too with the orange. And then I'm taking Stocking that first like yellowy orange here in the inner portion. Okay, and to do something a little bit different, I think I'm going to put a matte in the inner corner, and it's going to be Stocking the yellow, because I just think as long as I'm going for it being different here. I mean, I've done mattes before, but I just think it would be cool. Let me kind of run that back over here. It's out there. Wait until I put on the lashes, and I think it will look really, really cool. Okay, now it's time to do this eye, and I am going to go in with Cozy first. So Cozy is this peachy color. So pretty. Honestly, these two rows right here would make the prettiest neutral looking, well, not like a warm neutral look. But then of course you have that shimmer that does pull green. Oh my gosh, did y'all just hear that gurgle? I just gurgled. How embarrassing. That is a beautiful peach. Okay, now to deepen up that crease, I'm going in with Fireplace. This is a brick, kind of a brick red. Ooh, that's a fun shade. I will say these specific shades, when you really start to look at the tones, they are really unique. It may look pretty similar to the original Cozy Cabin, but I promise once you start putting them down, you realize they definitely are different in tone. Ooh, when those go together, it kind of makes it more like almost a deep magenta, a burgundy. When the peach and this one meet, really, ooh, I like that. Okay, now mirroring the same thing I did on the other side, I'm taking this first row, the like contrast row. This is the shade Wish List. And I'm just going to blend. Ooh, those look really pretty next to each other. This side may have been like a little bit of a stretch, even though I think it looks cool. This is really pretty. It almost has like that snow cone vibe to it, laid next to each other. Those look so pretty together. I mean, this is fun. This is what it's all about, playing with makeup and trying different combos that maybe you wouldn't have thought of before. I love those together. Ooh, that's fun. Now it is time for Snowfall. This deeper blue. Ooh. I just think these two rows play so nice together. They really, really complement each other really, really well. So I'm going to do that same thing on this side, packing it on, leaving some of the color, and then drawing it out for a wing. Okay, now we're going to take lights and, ooh, pretty, pretty. So bright. It looks cool next to that deeper blue too. It's such a fun contrast to have this bright blue next to it. I do need to, I covered up that blue a little bit. I want more of that blue there. So let me just, there we go. I really like that shimmer. I can't wait to get stuff on my lips. My lips feel so dry. Okay, then I'm gonna go in with Candy Cane. This is gonna be fun. That looks so pretty, I think, next to that bright blue. I love mixing the warm in with the cool tones, because then I think it just kind of accentuates how cool toned this is, how warm toned this one is when they are juxtaposed near each other. So fun, so pretty. Okay, I need stuff on my lips. All right, for the lower lash line, I'm going to mimic what I did on the other side too. Taking these kind of top shades. Oops, I just dipped that in the wrong one. Okay, this is that Fireplace. The shade is gorgeous. Honestly, like there are so many looks you could do with this palette. I mean, I know these are really colorful and kind of wild, but I am just thinking so many of these shades would be so beautiful paired together. Truly, truly such a pretty color story. And how you can do more subdued, obviously. Like I said, if you go monochromatic, it's not going to look as wild as this for sure. Okay, let me go with Cozy, that lighter shade. the peach. I will say that candy cane does look pretty. Some of it came down in the inner corner, and having a sparkle there does look really, really pretty. All right, I did that little wing action on this one, like this side. So I think now, honestly, as like crazy kind of different these colors are, just looking head on, I don't think they look that different from each other. Maybe I could get away with it out in public, but I'm gonna put on the lashes and the liner and the lip and come back and we will talk about the first two looks. All right, I just had to show you guys the look in the better lighting. This is never my favorite lighting to film in, but sometimes it's a sound issue why I can't film in my better lighting space, but at least I can show you guys what the look looks like in that better lighting. All right, you guys, I think this is so fun. I think that even though I used completely different shades eye to eye, I could wear this out and I think that it would look fine. I am really, really pleased with this first look. I haven't really talked that much about this formula of the cheek palette. Really pigmented, really, really easy to blend in. The shimmers aren't like crazy bam, but they're still really pretty. They're pretty natural. Like they don't show a lot of texture. Really, really like that. So first two looks is a success. I really like it. And look number 3, we are going to go in with these 2 rows. All right, we are on the next day. So we are going to dip into these last 2 rows now. And I'm going to start with hot chocolate. And we are going to put that right here in the crease, above the crease. This is a perfect shade for that. Ooh, this one has a lot of good pigment. Ooh, it's kind of like a toffee shade. I would say it could have been called toffee as well instead of hot chocolate. Now, you guys will notice I've got on some liner, a tiny bit of mascara. We had football games today for my kiddos, so I just threw on wings, a tiny swipes of mascara. So we're just going to work around that today. And then I'll put on my faux lashes next. Okay, really like that shade. It's really pretty. And you guys may hear my husband talking. It's Saturday. I try to go in here to have my quiet space and it does not happen. The dog's barking, my husband was snoring, taking a nap, and now he's on the phone. So if you guys hear him, I'm just working with what I have today. Okay, next we are going to take mistletoe, and that is this light kind of minty green. And while I say it's light, let's see how it shows up. Actually, it's not that light. It's actually deeper than I thought it was going to be. And, ooh, it's kind of grungy green. Well, I'm also kind of mixing it into the hot chocolate, so that's going to make it grungy, which is kind of cool. I wasn't really meaning to do that, but I kind of like how that looks. Now, you guys have already seen, I showed you guys the original Cozy Cabin, and then on the screen at this point, I've put in side-by-side comparisons for you guys. I actually took those shots yesterday because I had a friend on Instagram, April. She might be watching this. Hi, April, if you're watching. She asked if this was a relaunch of the first one because she thought it was the same at first. But I was showing her in the side-by-side that they are actually pretty different. I was not expecting that green to be that color. Interesting. They are pretty different. I'm going to take a different brush real quick, a fluffier brush. And they are definitely sister palettes. They go really, really nicely together, complement each other well, but they have quite a few differences. As a matter of fact, like some of the shimmers are completely different as far as not even close to the same shades. But then the tones are also different. So if you see on, you know, the purple blue leaning side, they're going to be different in tone as well. So you're not getting repeats, but you are getting a palette that can play nicely with the other one. And I think I am going to go back in with hot chocolate here and kind of blend this out better because it got a little bit funky right here. I was just expecting that to be much different, that green, than it is. But I do like it. Just wasn't really expecting that. Together, it definitely kind of turns this murky brown, gray, grungy shade that I actually like. Okay, let's see. Now for the outer corner, we are going to lay down Chimney. So that is this deeper brown here. I actually probably would have named this one Hot Chocolate and that one up there Toffee, but I was not naming the palette. This is a really pretty brown, a true brown. Sometimes certain browns on me will come off purple, sometimes gray. This one is a true brown. I'm just gonna mix those together. Ooh, we're getting like a fall leaf vibe here. I really like that. That's really pretty. Okay, you guys, I cut up the other eye, and actually I take that back. I don't think this is a true brown. There's definitely like a purpley reddish tone to it. It's really, really pretty, but it's not a true brown, which is fine. That does not bother me, but just something I wanted to note because I was wrong. Okay, next up, I cannot find the pencil brush I'm looking for. Here it is. Okay, next up we are gonna go with Cabin, and that's this deep kind of army green on the lower lash line. If I've sounded like I'm out of breath, I'm wearing really tight jeans, or they're right at my waist, and they're actually not, they don't feel this tight when I'm walking around, but the way that I'm sitting, I feel like I can't breathe. So if I sound out of breath, that is why. We, you know, women paying for cute clothing, cute jeans. Okay. All right, you guys, I turned up the lighting a little bit because it was pretty dark, but the lashes are on. I've already showed you what it looks like in that better lighting like yesterday. And I have to say, I think my favorite shimmer in here is the one that I'm wearing today. It is so gorgeous. What was this one called? Gingerbread. This is my favorite in here. It is so pretty. All right, and I forgot to tell you guys my blush. I am wearing a mix of Winterberry and Snug. So I put Winterberry more on the outside, and then just right here to lighten it up, I did Snug. And I think Winterberry is definitely my favorite shade in here. I also love Merry and Bright. That is the pink shimmer, and that is what I'm wearing today as well. That combo is gorgeous. Love it. This quality is so good. If you're in need of a face palette, you like these shades, excellent quality. Again, the only thing is I wish one of these would have been switched out with something toastier and warmer, like either an orange or like maybe even, I don't know, I just wish that it was something slightly different, switched out from these two. But otherwise, really, really gorgeous. Love that. And the palette is such a win. I think this is definitely an upgrade from the original Cozy Cabin. And I really like that palette a lot. But I just think that the quality has improved. No one can say that these are hard pressed, that they don't pick up. They're very impactful. They're very beautiful. The mattes are also very easy to work with. I think the colors that are chosen here were so smart. I think that they go together and contrast with each other so beautifully. Like, I don't know that I would have thought to do the looks that I did with this palette had I not decided to go, all right, I'm gonna switch this up and go like extreme sides, mix them all in. Really, really love the effect, but I think it could also be gorgeous just doing, you know, those monochromatic rows and keeping it simple. Highly, highly do recommend this collection. It does go on sale on Monday, and you can use my code to save 10%. I hope you guys try it out. This is such a good brand. One of my favorite indie brands for sure. All right, you guys, you have to let me know what your favorite is in the comments. And as always, have fun shopping, budget shopping. Bye.